Hey guys, I'm Marsh, and welcome to another episode of my Alpha to Modern Progressive Minecraft series. On the last episode, we got full diamond armor and tools, and we also built a wheat farm that's protected from all the animals trampling it, and we've continued growing that quite a bit here. So now we have an unlimited source of food. And we also got started on our base over here. And for this episode, I'd like to continue working on this base. It's going to be at least 2 or 3 stories tall. And I'd also like to work on the area around it, making this a little bit nicer with some paths and some gardens, maybe some ponds and things like that. And I'd also like to get started on a tree farm. It's going to be nice to have an unlimited source of wood as we keep expanding. So yeah, that'll be our goals for this episode. The first thing I think we'll do is get started with this house. The second floor is going to be pretty similar to the first one, so we just need to build this up one more time, and then we'll go from there. I think what we'll do is just start with 2 floors, and if we ever need more room in the future, we can just expand it up to 3 after that. We might need to collect some more glass as well, but I'm going to lay the foundation with the cobble and the wood, and then we'll see what we need after that. Between episodes, I just did a little bit of AFKing at the farm to keep the seeds growing, and I also did a little bit of strip mining. I didn't find too many more diamonds. I'm finding that diamonds are very rare in these old versions of the game. So I'm starting to use a couple iron tools just to conserve our diamond tools because we don't have anything like mending or any enchantments like that. So one thing I was wondering if we should do 2 layers of cobblestone in the middle here, separating the floors. But I think it looks good with just 1. So we're just going to replicate this again across the top, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, we are already out of glass, so let's go head back to that beach that we were at before, get some more sand, and I'll be right back. Also, I just realized this version had F5 mode. I didn't even know you can go to third person. I thought that wasn't a feature yet. But I love the way our character runs. This is so goofy, but I think it's funny. We've got about 4 stacks of sand, but our shovel's broke and it's getting dark. So I'm going to head back. I hope that's enough, but we can always come back if it's not. Bread has kind of become our main source of food now, just because it's unlimited and we can harvest it so easily. So I'm not even going to bother a lot of the time with pigs. We have a good stockpile of pork chops anyway, because it does heal more hearts per food. So maybe that's good if we're going on long trips. But just food that I'm eating when we're around the base, bread will do just fine. And I'm just going to keep collecting these flowers as I go to work on our garden area after the house is done. Okay, cooking up all our sand, and then we'll finish the second floor. Okay, we've got our glass. Let's fill in the second floor and see how that looks then. Here we go. We've got the second floor done. And I think I've decided I'm just going to go for it and make a third floor right now. I think it would look even better if it's a little taller. And then we can just go ahead and finish off the roof after that. So yeah, I'm going to go up for another floor right now. And I'll be back in a few minutes. We probably should have got more sand while we were over at the beach, but that's fine. We're not too far from it, so we're just going to go and get a little bit more. And then we should have all the materials that we need. I can't wait until deserts get added. It's going to be so much easier collecting glass. It would have been really helpful for this build because we need so much for this. Okay, so I'm done with the third floor of the house. The next thing I need to do is add floors to it. And I've also decided I think I'm going to do full blocks on the bottom. So I'm going to do slabs on the top and bottom because I think it'll just look a little bit nicer and it'll be easier to build the interior once we get to that. So yeah, I'm going to double it up and put a top and bottom slab and make sure it's a full block for the floor. We are done with the first floor, and I think that looks a lot nicer already. So let's go ahead and do that on the second and third floor right now. I could definitely use an easier way to get up there as well. So soon we'll have to make a staircase. Also, something interesting I've noticed is you can't place a slab connecting to another slab like this. You have to place it on the block below it, which I thought was kind of weird. We also aren't able to sneak yet, so it makes it a little bit difficult when working on edges like this, because we can easily fall off and it can be a little bit annoying when building. For some reason, I'm having a tough time getting the stairs to face the right direction. You need like a block on the side you don't want it to face. Because if I just place it like this, it faces the opposite direction for some reason. But then if I come like this, it still places it this way. So you need to place a block in front of the side you don't want it facing. So I like making stairs out of these stone slabs, but since we used it for the floor, I kind of wanted to switch it up, and we're going to go with a wooden staircase. And I'm actually really liking how this is coming out. Okay, here's our finished staircase. I think that looks pretty good. a nice grand staircase. So now we're just going to have to add one on the second floor. So we've completed both floors of our staircase. Just like that. I like how that flows. And our floor is all done. So now it's time to do the roof. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the roof yet. I might have to experiment, do a little bit of trial and error. But yeah, let's see what we're going to do with that. So my first thought was to use cobblestone stairs for the roof, but the problem is they don't connect on Minecraft Alpha, and we don't have a straight rectangular house. We have this kind of weird pyramid shape at the front here. So it's going to be hard to make it with stairs like I normally would. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing book and think about what we can do for this. I think we can use stairs actually. I really don't want to make it a flat roof. I'd like to make it a bit of an angled roof, at least going up a little bit. So we're going to have an angle going up this way, and then we'll do something to connect this little pyramid up to that. I'll show you what I'm saying once I get a little bit more of it done. Yeah, I really do not understand the stair mechanics in alpha, so we're just trying to make it work the best we can, but I think we're starting to figure it out a little bit, as much as we can at least. Finally, it's turning day. It's hard to record at night. The lighting is not too good. So yeah, I try to do most of my recording in the day, but sometimes, I need to record stuff at night when it's happening. But okay, so we're finally getting a good hang of the stair mechanics. I think the thing is sometimes you need to place blocks on certain sides of the stairs to update it. Like for example, that didn't work. For some reason that just turned it into a regular cobblestone block. But for example, like if we were to put a cobblestone block on this left side right here, that might turn it straight. Like, so you just got to mess around with it a little bit. It's confusing, but yeah, I think I figured out the key is just placing blocks next to it will sort of update it. Yep, I've got it good here. So we just placed all these stairs along the bottom row, and it doesn't really matter what direction they're facing, because when we place the next stair, it'll just automatically fix it and connect them. So I think I finally got the hang of this now. Good thing we did all that strip mining because we need so much cobble for this build, especially with these stairs and the stone slabs for the floor and the outlining of the house. So yeah, I'm really glad we did all that strip mining. Look at our hearts. We're almost dead. We've fallen off this building so many times while trying to build this. It's really hard without being able to sneak. There we go. And right after I say that, we've died. I think that's our first death, actually. So you hate to see that. Here we are back at the world spawn, and let's see if we can find our way back to base. So there goes the hardcore status for the world. I didn't think it would last too long, but sad to see it go still. Luckily, home base is not too far from the world spawn, because I can already see our big house in the distance here. And here's our stuff. Thankfully, nothing despawned. We were only about a minute away. Okay, we are done with this section of the roof. We just need to figure out what we're going to do in between these middle sections here. Probably just another big window. I think that would fit this build pretty well. But yeah, we're just missing a couple blocks here, and we'll get those windows in. Okay, we had to get some glass, so let's just fill in our windows real quick. Yeah, I think that's going to look really nice on that side. So we'll do that on the other side now. Okay, both of these windows are complete. Now we just need to finish this part of the roof, and the whole exterior of the house is basically done, besides maybe a little bit of detailing. But yeah, let's do that right now. Okay, so I think I've got a design for this part of the roof here. Just putting little slabs in the corners and going up with stairs in the middle like this, making a little angle. But I just have to fine tune the block placements a little bit. So I'll be back in a minute once that's done and show you what it looks like. So I've got the shape that I think I'd like to use for this part of the roof laid out. We're going to go for like an angle in the middle here and then flatten it out on the top. And then we have some slabs in the corner over here. I'm just fine tuning the block placements a little bit. So let me figure that out and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's what it's looking like from the outside so far. I think it looks pretty decent. Mining stairs takes forever. So I thought I was finished with the roof, but the front of it just seems a little bit off to me. It might be hard to see right now because it's a little bit dark, but I think it just looks a little bit too flat. So I'm going to try and angle it a little bit more and see how that looks. Also, I'm going to have to add another floor of stone slabs here because by adding this roof, we've created a big attic area. So essentially a fourth floor to our base. So I'm going to do that as well right now. This is going to be a massive base now that we have a fourth floor. But that's what I wanted. I wanted a big base where we could store all the items from alpha and somewhere where we could even progress that to maybe future updates like beta and end up storing all the beta items. I think that would be really cool. It can be a bit inconvenient at times for recording and everything, not being able to sleep and it always being dark. But I also like it because it adds a sense of danger into the game and, you actually have to play through the night, whereas otherwise you're just always skipping through it, basically. Let's go ahead and harvest our wheat farm again. We've just been slowly expanding this thing whenever we have time to harvest it real quick. We got over a stack of wheat from that. That's going to give us a ton of food. We're going to have more food than we know what to do with right now with all this wheat. But that's not a bad thing. We can always stock up on it and just save some for future updates when we might need some for breeding animals or whatever it might be. We are running out of cobble. We did so much strip mining, but somehow we've used all of it almost on this base. So we're going to have to do some more strip mining eventually. Not something I thought I'd have to do for a little while longer. I think the back of this house could use some more texture too. This looks a little bit flat. So maybe at the end of this episode or sometime in the next episode, we're going to do a little work on texturing this and making it look a little less flat. Okay, so we're done with the floor for this little attic area, and I think this looks really cool. I like this area up here. So I think we're going to have to make something cool out of this. Maybe this will be our bed area eventually, but we get a nice view of our little area. So I like this. Okay, so the sun has risen, so I wanted to show you guys the finished product, the exterior of the base here. I think it's looking really good, and we just need to do a little bit of detailing, particularly on that back side that's a little bit flat. But besides that, it's pretty much finished. We just need to do the interior. That's going to take a lot of decorating and building in there. And I'd also like to do some exterior work, like making some paths and maybe some ponds around here, some man-made ponds, little gardens and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to start on now. Get a little path going from this new base over to our farm and our starter base area. Now, I'm probably not going to get to the exterior detailing as well as the interior detailing until the next episode. Building the whole base took a little bit longer than I thought. So I'd like to get some work on pathways and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely in the next episode, we're going to work on detailing that a little bit more. And also, we'll start the tree farm in the next episode. I wanted to try and get to that today, but yeah, we were just spending a lot of time on the base today, though. I think for our path, we're going to do some sort of combination of gravel and stone slabs. I think that would be one of the best block combinations for us. And maybe we can mix some mossy cobble in there to give it a little of a beaten path look. I think that would be nice. Okay, so our path is going to be 5 wide, and it's going to be a pretty simple design. Oops, I didn't mean to put those on the end like that. It's just going to be gravel in the middle and stone slabs on the outside of the path, kind of like a little sidewalk sort of thing. Yeah, so we're just going to keep the path going like this to our new house and just mix in some mossy cobble every once in a while like this, and maybe some normal cobblestone as well. Okay, we've run out of gravel, so we're just going to go into our mine, and yeah, we've already found some. There's just a ton of gravel in our strip mine down here, so we basically have unlimited gravel. We're just going to mine that up for a bit. Okay, we've got a ton of gravel now here in the middle of our inventory, so we're going to head back up and keep working on that path. We've got loads of flint now too. So what we can do is when we eventually get a zombie spawner set up and get feathers from that, that should be a good way for us to get arrows. Zombie farms aren't the best, but I do want to make a farm in this version of the game before we update. So I've chosen that I'm going to do it on that zombie farm. I don't want to generate too many chunks looking for a skeleton spawner because we don't know when we'll find that. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do a farm with a zombie spawner. Even though it's not the most useful, it'll still be helpful to have for some arrows. So here's what we have for the path so far. Goes around this corner, and we wanted to keep this bush in here, so we kind of wrapped it around there. And this is where it ended. So we're just going to expand it up this way and have it go towards our new house. Okay, we've got the gravel laid out going all the way to our new house. We're out of stone now, though, so we just need to do a little bit more strip mining. I'll just do about one inventory of strip mining, and then I'll be back to finish this path. Okay, we've got the stone that we needed from that mining trip, and we got pretty lucky on diamonds and gold as well. We got quite a bit of those materials, so that's very good. But we're going to craft these into stone slabs right now, and then we'll finish off our path. Okay, so here we go. Our new path is done. That connects our house with our starter house slash mine and our farm. And when we keep going with new builds in this area, I plan to expand some stuff over in that direction and over here as well. We can have the path going out in different directions to go to all those builds. So yeah, this is going to be an ongoing thing, but I just wanted to get it going to all of our current builds so far. Now we're just going to decorate a little bit around it and make this area look a little bit nicer. So we're going to go do some decorating now. We're a little bit limited on the blocks that we can use for that, but we have to try and be creative. So we're going to try and use these red and yellow flowers, maybe replant some trees in the area, and make some park benches with these signs and some wooden stairs. So we're going to get started on that. Okay, so around this bush, I have this little patch of grass. We're just going to do a little flower area over here, and maybe plant some trees over on this side like this. Okay, and outside our base here, we're going to go for a little park bench. The stairs are facing the wrong way, but I believe if we just put a block behind them, it should face the way we want it. Boom. And then we have a nice little bench. So we're going to put a few of those scattered along the path as well. Okay, guys, so here's what I've done with the path. We have trees and flowers growing all along the sides. We have some bushes here, which I'd like to make some more of, actually. And we've also scattered some park benches all around here. And maybe I can even add some more of those over there. Yeah, that's what we've done with the path here. And I'm really liking how it's turning out. And like I said earlier, we'll just keep expanding this as we go and make new builds in this area. Okay, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode. Today, we got this whole house set up, the full exterior. And in the next episode, we're just going to do a little bit of detailing on the exterior. And we're going to start decorating the interior a bit. And I know that we wanted to get to a tree farm on this episode today, but we kind of spent more time on this house than I was expecting. So on the next episode, maybe over in this area or over here, we're going to expand the path and make a tree farm. Yeah, stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a great day.